Hello. The first ever twin flame mission? Yeah, well, guess what? There was a first ever twin flame mission, and what we're gonna find out is that that's not a thing. And when you find out where the whole myth about twin flame mission came from, you're never gonna want to repeat that myth again because it is batshit crazy. We're talking stockpiling guns and food and ammo and building an underground bunker. And I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Here, let's just get right to it. This person, she did not meet her twin flame. She met a man named Mark Prophet. It was a conventional relationship. It was romantic and emotional. There was no spiritual awakening. There was no dark night of the soul. There was no running and chasing. There was no kundalini. None of that. None of that happened. It was just a regular soulmate relationship with her late husband, Mark Prophet. By the way, yes, their name really is Prophet. Interesting coincidence. Okay, I'm sorry, guys, but you're looking at the face of a crazy person. Straight up. Straight up. Here's what she did. Here we go. This is from ABC News, 1990. Do you guys remember Ted Koppel, Nightline? ABC News? We're not going to watch the whole thing, but we'll watch some of this crazy ass bullshit. Here we go.
It's a place called Paradise Valley, and people who live in it say it was a paradise.
Jesus has told me.
Until this woman and her followers arrived.
Jesus told her, huh? Yeah. Keep watching.
Cosmic law is cosmic law, and when the karma has to teach people a lesson, then it has to descend.
Here we go with the new age bullshit.
I believe that there are peak dates when nuclear war could happen anytime.
By the way, twin flames is real, and there's a perfectly sound, rational, scientific explanation for it. We'll talk about that, but it ain't this shit. This is all made up little kid stuff. She says she channeled it. This is where all the twin flame mythology came from, guys. This chick.
In this 12-year period that began on April 23rd.
It's a Montana-based spiritual group of some 3,000 people that has aroused the anger of its neighbors and the concern of half a dozen federal agencies. Who is Elizabeth Prophet, and what does her church, Universal and Triumphant, stand for? We'll talk with her tonight.
This is ABC News Nightline. Reporting.
So, I don't exactly love major media, right? The corporate press, but I mean, at least this way, it's not made up shit, right?
From Washington, Ted Koppel.
This, quite frankly, is one of those stories you save for a slow day when not very much else is happening. And even then, you wonder whether it merits the attention. Not that the Church Universal and Triumphant isn't interesting. It is gloriously bizarre and fascinating, but it is also exceedingly strange.
And this, guys, again, she thought her late husband, Mark, was her twin flame. And this little project, building underground bunkers, stockpiling food, guns, she thinks Jesus is talking to her and some other whatever spirit shit. And she declared herself an ascended master. No real master declares themselves an ascended master. Buddha didn't even do that. Jesus never even really said that. He said, I and the Father are one, but then he said, so are you. Okay? And this was her idea of this was her twin flame mission.
As one Montana neighbor put it, I'm surrounded by people whose dipsticks haven't seen oil in a long time. That observation, even less obliquely put, has been made in particular about the church's current leader, Elizabeth Clare Prophet. The organization itself sometimes seems less a church than a cult, but it has several thousand members, and as Nightline correspondent Farrah Sawyer reports, their convictions, and their activities are a little difficult to ignore.
I mean, he said it. He said it, not me. It's a little bit less of a church than it is a cult. All right, here, let's just cut to the chase. Well, yeah, this is pretty much it. We'll keep watching for a couple minutes. So this is Montana, 1989.
Paradise Valley, Montana. God's country, they call it here. Not the kind of place you'd expect to find a New Age range war.
Jesus has told me that the kingdom of God is the consciousness of God.
And this is not the kind of person you'd expect to be leading the battle. Elizabeth Clare Prophet, head of the Church Universal and Triumphant, whose teachings are a grab-bag mix of Western and Eastern philosophy. She believes she is the reincarnated spirit of Queen Guinevere and Marie Antoinette. To her church members, she is the mother of the universe, the very messenger of God.
A messenger is one who does bring the message of the angels, of the ascended masters, and of God.
And she never, like, had any, I don't know, like, acts that she did, anything that she ever did to, like, show, like, hey, I'm this ascended master. God talks directly through me. If you want to talk to God, you got to go through me. I'm the master, right? She just said, hey, I'm an ascended master, and everybody believed her, right? Now, the one thing that she did do was make a false prophecy about the end of the world, which never happened.
To a people who have forgotten their source.
The ascended masters, spirits like Jesus, Buddha, Merlin the magician, and someone called Rayolite, bring prophet visions of destruction. The Soviet Union, she believes, is planning a first nuclear strike. The four horsemen of the apocalypse are riding across the land.
And as you know, these four horsemen bring problems in the economy. They bring war, they bring death, they bring famine, they bring plague.
Lord Michael, and legions of blue, come see me now, be faithful and true.
An estimated 3,000 church members gave up their old lives to follow prophets' visions to paradise.
I just want you to rewatch this little part. The people doing this chanting, and she's, by the way, she's at the front leading the chant. And supposedly she thinks Jesus or Rayolite or whoever the fuck is talking through her and telling her to tell everybody to do these channelings. And they're all just doing it. They're all just following her blindly. So just watch. Look at the body language of the people. Listen to what they're doing. Just think about what's happening here, guys. This is where you got to do your twin flame mission. You need to do your healing, and then your divine masculine is going to awaken, and you'll go on your mission. This is where all that shit came from, guys. This chick. She's nuts.
Or they bring death, they bring famine, they bring plague.
Lord Michael, and legions of blue, come see me now, be faithful and true.
An estimated 3,000 church members gave up their old lives to follow prophets' visions to Paradise Valley.
I'm sorry, guys, but brainwashed is the word, man. That's sad.
Chanting for protection.
Oh, here we go. Here's the good part.
And preparing for nuclear holocaust. Dotting the landscape with scores of fortified bomb shelters. Room for every man, woman, and child in the church.
These things close and go in against the two openings in there, and there's no way of opening it up from outside.
Fred Morcell gave up a full-time acting career to come here and build this underground shelter for himself and 6 others. When the messenger of God announced this past March and April were the most dangerous times.
And remember, she just declared herself the messenger of God. I mean, she never did anything. At least Jesus, like, brought people back from the dead. I mean, that's pretty good proof, right?
Times, Morcell prayed and waited.
We were ready to go down any minute. Any minute.
Disaster was averted, members believe, in part because they prayed it away. But church members also take other security
measures. Look at all
measures.
that ammunition.
Ed Francis, Prophet's 4th husband and the church's business manager, together with her former bodyguard, were recently convicted of illegally buying $100,000 worth of assault weapons and ammunition to be used, Francis said, after a nuclear war.
Look at that. Look at that. This is where twin flame mission and healing and your divine masculine is going to awaken. This is where that came from, guys. This. Let that sink in. Let that sink in, guys. She made a false prophecy. It never happened. It was supposed to be like the middle of March, 1990 or something like that. So I found this little case study that somebody wrote about why do people do this shit. I'll link it for you. I'll link all this stuff, all these videos. It'll be in the description for this video. But yeah, supposed to be March 15th, 1990, and it never happened. And then most of the people walked away. Most of the people in the church, walked away, including her daughter. Her daughter was even like, this is fucked. I'm out of here, right? And now her daughter is like a college professor, and she's written several papers and studies on why do people start cults, right? So after she came out of that, she woke up and she was like, I got to warn people about this. So her daughter turned out to be a force for good, right? Because her daughter, she's like, well, let's talk about the psychology of this. Why do people do that? And I should know because I was in the middle of it, right? But yeah, a lot of them left because the prophecy never came true. The people that remained, they go, oh, well, we prayed it away. Uh-huh. Sure you did. You can just Google it. I typed into the Google Elizabeth Clare Prophet Twin Flame Mission, and you can read this. I'm not going to read it for you. You guys, you can pause the video. But it's all the same tired, old, new age crap that we've heard a million times about twin flames. It's got nothing to do with twin flames at all. This is her book, Soulmates and Twin Flames. She didn't even meet her twin flame, guys. Mark Prophet was not her twin flame. Neither of them had a spontaneous spiritual awakening with Kundalini and like legitimate psychic intuition about future events, which come true. And guys, the kind of psychic intuition that you're going to get, first of all, it comes through the heart. If you really met your twin flame, this will happen. It comes through the heart. It's not fucking Jesus or whoever talking to you. It comes through the heart, and it's usually like pretty run-of-the-mill stuff. Like, I don't know, a blonde woman is going to come into my workplace next week and offer everybody health insurance. Or I just got intuition about my foot. Some of you might know I injured my foot, and it was like a positive, like, yeah, it's going to be all right. The doctor's going to tell you this. I have a doctor appointment next Friday, and I know what the advice is he's going to give me. So I guess we'll see if it comes true. But the thing is, every time I have one of these, it actually happens. Like you're going to take a trip and it's going to be free. That happened. You're going to win some money. One time I won some money, and I knew it was going to happen ahead of time. Just stuff like that. It's usually, it never is going to be like, oh, it's going to be the end of the world next March. That's crazy shit, guys. That's crazy talk, man. And again, here I'll show you, this isn't the fact of having a spontaneous spiritual awakening is pretty well researched. It's researched enough that here we have psychologists writing a peer-reviewed article about the subject of spontaneous spiritual awakenings. And they even discuss Kundalini or union, which the real meaning of that word is where you feel at one with everything. That's what that word really means, union. So that you could have this spontaneous spiritual awakening with all of these highly paranormal experiences, right? So psychic intuition, it comes through the heart. It's 100% accurate. So if you just like know something about future events, it comes true 100% of the time. Not the fake shit like Elizabeth Clare Prophet, Kundalini, out of body experiences, merging with God, everything, this sense of oneness, heart chakra opening. That's a real thing. Stuff like this, guys, stuff that's supernatural. And it happens spontaneously as a result of the dark night of the soul, the kind of negative part after the initial breakup with your twin flame, all this weird, crazy, cool metaphysical and paranormal stuff starts to happen. And to call it quackery, yeah, you can't really say that anymore because now we have legit psychologists writing peer-reviewed papers about it. I mean, this is the College of London, guys, and the University of Greenwich. I mean, this isn't quackery. Now, this shit is quackery. Stockpiling guns in Montana. And again, no, she didn't have Kundalini. She didn't become psychic. None of that shit happened because she met Mark. He didn't go through any of that stuff. They just heard twin flames and they were like, oh, that sounds nice. I think that's what we are. Let's go on our mission. I think we have a mission. It's just all made up. They made it up. This is our mission. We're going to save people from nuclear war. Here's a video I came across. I just wanted to show you kind of the aesthetics of New Age spiritualism. If you spot this stuff, you're going to see it. Just watch.
This is the coming revolution in higher consciousness. Listen now to Elizabeth Clare Prophet, educator, author, and authority on the most exciting story of our time, the coming revolution in higher consciousness.
So, there's this coming revolution. Here it comes, everybody. Get ready. Are you going to be ready for the big shift? Here we go. It's coming. Yeah, oh my God, here we go. Oh my God, it's coming. And then nothing happens. The whole 1970s and 80s, there were all these channelers making all these predictions. The big shift is coming. Everybody get ready. Nothing happened. This clip I just showed you was from 1986. Nothing happened. Guys, you got to stop listening to these people. These are dangerous people. You don't need anybody outside of yourself. Everything you need is right here, guys. You're a soul. You don't need me. You don't need her. You don't need anybody. You are a soul. You can go directly to God through your heart. You can do it yourself. There's also this playlist. I'll go ahead and link this playlist if you're curious to watch some of the lunacy that she wants to talk about with you. And guys, again, here, let me go to my YouTube channel. And it wasn't that long ago, I made a video talking about these guys. Greetings. People. Today, we're going to talk these two people here on Netflix that were exposed as a couple of frauds. In my opinion, a cult. I don't think that's a very controversial statement to make because everybody else is calling them that. And they're not twin flames, guys. They're not twin flames. So from now on, whenever you see all the crap about the mirror exercise and mission and healing, and your divine masculine is going to awaken, which isn't based on anything scientific at all. It has got zero basis in any kind of scientific law. I'm going to show you something here in a second that you can sink your teeth into. There's a real rational explanation for twin flames, guys. But yeah, anytime you see this, anytime you see that stuff, guys, that's where that came from. Again, here on Google, I typed in Elizabeth Clare Prophet twin flame mission and all the crap about your twin flame is your spiritual mirror. No, they're not. That's a myth. And if you look at the lingo, just look at the New Age lingo here, guys. Just read this excerpt with open eyes. Look at the language, because they're talking about, oh, no, this isn't romantic. But then if you watch enough of her videos over here, you're going to go, well, wait, she's talking about a romantic connection. And it's highly idealistic. So which is it? Why are you contradicting yourself? And then there's all the usual stuff about like spiritual growth through reunion. Yeah, when we're together and we love each other, we're going to grow together. Yeah. And you see these twin flame couples on YouTube. They are not twin flames. They're doing the same thing she was doing. I mean, they're not exactly starting a cult. Maybe. Maybe they are. But there's a lot of them. There's a lot of these twin flame couples. And you'll always hear them using all this kind of lingo. Just read this, guys. Read this, and then go watch some of these so-called twin flame couples. They are not twin flames. It's a conventional relationship, and it's always going to be the same crap. You're here to serve God and humanity. You got to find your mission. You're in service, blah, 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 blah. It's never, you're free. You don't have to prove that you're good. You just are a soul, and you're allowed to have a direct relationship with God. God loves you just the way you are. No, it's never that. It's always all this crap, all this like peer pressure for you to like prove that you're a really good twin flame and you're on this journey and this mission and I've got this purpose. Yeah, all the usual cult stuff, guys. And the truth of spiritualism is you're just consciousness. Genuine spiritualism, guys, real spiritualism is not a belief system. It's not an ideology. It's just consciousness. It's just being. You don't need to prove that you're good. You don't need to go on a mission. This is the soul, guys. You want to get your twin flame back? This is the thing about this. This is real. I've coached 7,000 students. I've helped thousands of twin flames to be together. Thousands. Go look at the twin flame success stories playlist on my YouTube channel. Go. If you're new to my channel, go check it out, guys. I've helped a bunch of people to be with their twin. This is real, but you got to stop making shit up about it, guys. You got to let go of all this weird cult shit. And again, look at what she did. Stockpiling guns. Her husband went to jail for doing that. They got in trouble with the ATF. Guys, people have become so desensitized to simply existing that it's like they don't even notice it anymore. That's spiritualism. It's not thinking. It's not emotion. It's being. It's just existing now. It's the I am, going beyond mind. That's spiritualism. A belief system is all mental. It's all concept, right? This is just consciousness. This is real spiritualism. Eckhart Tolle is essentially the modern day Buddha. And anybody that's ever had an actual enlightened spiritual awakening, if you know the teachings from the Bible of Jesus Christ, they look different to you. You're going to start to say, Oh, that's what he was talking about. For example, I and the Father are one. But then he also said, these things and more shall you also do. He was very clear, guys. He told people, I'm not special. You are the same consciousness that I am. That's what he was talking about, you guys. And again, consciousness isn't thought, it's not a belief system, it's beyond concept, guys. This is why you don't need anybody outside of yourself. You don't need me, you don't need any guru. You are a soul. It's my job to show you that. That's it. That's it, guys. Now, let's talk about one more thing before I go, because I said I would. Digging through. Go to the homepage of my YouTube channel. There's a playlist here called Twin Flame Science, New World All-Star. This video here, the second one, what are twin flames? I'm going to explain to you what twin flames are in a very rational, grounded, scientifically valid way using known physical laws. I'm not doing anything presumptuous. I'm not pushing the science even a little bit. Where do you go when you die? Well, there's this higher plane that we call heaven, right? Is there time up there? No. And that's what science says about it. And from there, we talk about reincarnation. Yeah, you really could meet somebody who is the same soul as you. I mean, if twin flames is real, you don't need to just make shit up about it, guys. There's no such thing as magic. Okay? Magic is just science that we haven't explained yet. Could you really meet somebody who is the same soul as you in another body? Yes, you really could. There is a very rational, grounded explanation for it, guys. Don't make shit up about this. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that, guys. This is very real. This experience, the awakening process, the spontaneous awakening, all the crazy shit that happens. There's also the tornado of repeating number patterns and synchronicities and signs and all that stuff, right? And your consciousness is exploding. It's quite an experience. And it's triggered by meeting this person. We call them twin flame. They're supposed to be the same soul as you are. Yeah, you could really have that. And it does cause something very extraordinary to happen to you, doesn't it? And then, of course, when you go beyond mind, when you align with your soul and experience this deeper essence of being that you are, the soul, they come back. Your twin flame comes back. How about that? But you're not going to do it chasing this person around, trying to accomplish some mission or become something. If we awaken and I do my mission and I do my healing and blah, 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 then I will get to the goal. I will get my person. That's the other reason that stuff doesn't work. It doesn't work, guys. It doesn't work. It makes your twin flame run harder, actually, when you do that stuff. Why? Because the soul doesn't care about outcomes. This isn't soulmates. You literally met you. You're not trying to attract another person to you. You're trying to attract you to you, but it's the real you, the soul. That's the real you. You're not the mind. You're not the body. You're not the personality. You're not who you are is not thinking and emotions. That's the mind. And I'm not saying that's bad, but that's what that is. That's the personality. That's the mask of self, the mortal human. What I'm talking about is the spiritual being of consciousness beyond this physical realm. That's the real you. And you're trying to attract the real you to you. Your twin flame is you in another body, your soul. Right. So this focusing on the person and making them the goal and doing all this stuff, mission, healing, whatever, What you're doing is working it through the mind, and you're treating this like this other person really and truly is an other. That's where the word separation came from, by the way. It's not a relationship status with your twin flame. Separation, that's a state of consciousness. But you end up pushing them away because you're trying to become something you already are, and it creates that separation. And again, I explain that in my video here. What are twin flames? Why your twin flame runs. There's even a physical law called the second law of thermodynamics, which actually explains the push-pull pretty well. But the truth is, guys, is you already are. You are your twin flame. This is spiritual. There's no separation. It's oneness. It's unity, union. That's what that word really is. And when you go there, when you're doing that, instead of chasing the person, you're aligning with your very soul. Your person comes back. Why? Because they are the same soul as you. You don't need to do anything about the outside world. It's all in here, guys. You don't need anything outside of yourself. That's the truth. So let go of the culty new age shit, guys. Do this journey right. Go check out my free resources. Sign up for my coaching. Do something. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.